Good evening and welcome to the Board of Mayor and Aldermen meeting. It is September 3rd, 2024. It is 7 p.m. Call this meeting to order. We do have a quorum. I will have the I'll have the prayer tonight, and the Pledge of Allegiance will be with Alderwoman Haas. If everyone would please rise for the prayer and the pledge. Dear Lord and Heavenly Father, we just come before you today, and we ask you to bless this city. Be with our residents, keep them safe. Be with the men and women who are serving this country and serving this community, that they may keep us all safe and healthy. We ask, Lord, for your leadership and your will for this board. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. First item is to approve the minutes from the August 6th, 2024 workshop and the August 8th, 2024 regular meeting.
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
I have a motion to approve the minutes. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Vice Mayor No. All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
No.
Next we have presentations. Fire Station 41 grand opening plaque. Alderwoman Hobbs, if you'd please join the chief.
Alderman Hobbs, we'd just like to say thank you as a small token of our appreciation for your leadership and the design and opening of the fire station. We know that you missed it because of schedule conflict, but we want to present this to you on behalf of the fire department. Get something nice to put on your shelf in your office.
Next up we have departmental reports. Chief Mays.
Good evening, Alderman, Vice Mayor, Mayor. The report, a lot of good information here, a lot of good numbers in my mind. So numbers are trending in a positive direction. The assaults, we had a little bit of an uptick, but I think that's due to a couple of incidents where there were some shots fired. Nobody was struck by that, by the gunfire, but because we had, it appears to be an ongoing feud that we are investigating some leads that are law enforcement sensitive at this time, but so I think that would accommodate for that uptick in the assaults. Shoplifting's up. They're doing well over at Walmart in terms of enforcement. Our calls for service were up slightly. Arrests are up. DUI arrests are down, as well as some drug-related arrests are up 18%. So we got some good numbers, but one thing that I did want to bring to your attention, the August activity report for this month is been cut short by a couple of days due to the holiday. So it does not include some of the information or data that we had from a recent detail that we did. We did a highway enforcement of aggressive traffic detail on the 29th and 30th of this month, or of last month, and we had some really good activity out of that. This was a operation that focused on areas of high levels of speeding, reckless driving, road rage, and hands-free violation. We focused on areas within the city that also had high crashes. So during that operation, over the course of 2 days, we had over 35 traffic stops, 46 citations, 6 misdemeanor citations, 3 physical arrests, and 2 of those were for DUI, and 1 was for a felony warrant out of Metro. So the officers did a great job, and I would also like to commend dispatchers Farmer and Crite, who were an excellent addition to the team. We had to actually have a separate dispatching team at our off-site dispatching center to make sure that we could accommodate all the activity that was being done during the course of that operation over the 2 days. So a lot of good stuff. This is something that is not new. It's something that they have done in the past, but I also want to commend Sergeant Woodard, Chris Woodard, for taking the initiative to create this program here and actually have this done. It shows to me that he is buying into the proactive approach that we want to do here in Laverne under under my administration, and I was happy to see him do it. So the numbers were great. I'm really, really happy with the effort that's being put forth by the men and women of the Laverne PD. So with that, I'll entertain any questions.
Chief, do y'all have, or and if not, if you could plan to have some traffic enforcement around our school bus routes?
Yes.
I know I've spoken to a couple school bus drivers where some people are driving around with the stop signs out, and it's a danger to our kids, and so and then also some speeding through school zones.
Yep. In fact, I was, before coming over here for tonight's meeting, I was having a conversation with Lieutenant Stats, and we discussed exactly that. And that's one of the things, one of the areas that he would like to see our future HEAT initiative be focused on. So we are adding that to the future plan.
And then one other thing, that this is just commentary, but this is, and I've told you this, but the residents of Cedar Glen have reached out again, and they were thankful for the extra patrols. I know they're working with management to try to get more street lights through the area, and so they appreciate that, and that's helping us with reestablishing trust with that community.
That's great to hear. And for anybody that's at home watching, please, if you have a complaint, if you have something that is a concern to you in your community, we want them to call the police department. Let us know. Every time I get a call from either a citizen or from one of you, I make sure that that is put out on the roll call board, and we have people go out that day and try to address it. Also, I'd just like to put a caveat in there. If you don't see us, it doesn't mean we're not there. You know, sometimes we're there, and you may not see us, but we're out there enforcing the best we can between the calls for service. Some other calls for service will take precedence over some of those proactive initiatives, but by all means, please call us, because if we don't hear from the community, we don't really necessarily know.
And I just want to say thank you for the near Shreedman, between Madison Square and the KFC, where people go into the turning lane because they're too impatient. Putting patrols out there in the morning, that was brought to one of my neighbors, and then I just want to thank you for having someone go out there and start monitoring that.
Oh, you're welcome.
During morning rush hour.
No, I appreciate you telling us. Thank you.
So, Chief, I need to piggyback off of what Mayor said, and then I'm going to piggyback a little bit off what you said.
Okay.
I've had several people just ask me to, because they'll be watching tonight, the complaints for speeding, and I hope they're watching, because as Bill England says, you can't fix stupid. But we've got a lot of speeders anywhere you go, all over the United States. But I don't care about that. I care about Laverne. There's no record here on how many speeding tickets. Is there any kind of average?
Well, off the top of my head, I don't have that number for you, but I can certainly, if that is something of concern to the Board of Mayor and Aldermen and to the citizens, I'll add that to our table, so that I'll have our analyst pull exactly how many speeding citations and warnings that are being issued. We can add that for sure.
I think that would be good for the citizens to see, because, I mean, you can't always go by what people are saying, because, as you said, just because they don't see you. And it's almost like some of these speeders that like to speed, whether it's in school zones, through parking lots, wherever. They just simply don't care.
Yeah.
And maybe if we could see some numbers to show the citizens.
Sure. No, we'll add that for sure.
And then to piggyback off of what you were talking about, I tell people that they will say, I'm sure other board members have heard it, well, I called, and they ain't done nothing. Or I called. Call the police department until you're sick. That's what you guys get paid for. And sooner or later, but just keep calling. Keep calling, keep calling, keep calling. I know you guys are busy. You can look at the numbers and see where you're at. You can't be everywhere, understandable. But as you stated, call. If you see something, say something. Keep calling. If you're not happy with the results, call again.
And if they're not happy with what they're hearing on the phone, ask to talk to a supervisor. All right?
Absolutely.
Every single one of us here is paid by you. All right? We are here to serve Laverne. So call.
So I hope the
Badger
folks that are
me.
listening at home is listening to this.
Yes. Ask to talk to a supervisor, and a supervisor will call you back. And I will make sure that my command staff and my supervisors know that that will be done.
I think speeding is citywide, really, but I live over by the high school, and I notice more in my neighborhood after school's let out, and a lot of them will run a stop sign. But what irritates me, and I think it holds up traffic more, is people sitting at a red light and texting, the light turned green, and they're still sitting there. And somebody blows a horn, and they move on. And then you get up, if you're third or fourth, you get up there, and you got to try to race through the yellow light or stop and wait till the next cycle. I think I wish people would be more aware of texting at red lights. I think that's the biggest problem of traffic backup, especially in the morning and in the evening. Mm-hmm. It's everywhere. Every red light, you have it. I've noticed it all over town.
This is a hands-free state. You shouldn't be texting while you're behind the wheel of a vehicle. So, and that's one of the things that was part of that initiative. And I'm really happy with some of the numbers that have come out from Officer Magliocco using the motorcycle. Especially when you have speeders coming down Old Nashville Highway or things of that nature. That's a very difficult road for us to do speed enforcement on because it's so narrow. And if you make a traffic stop on that road, well, that can cause even more of a traffic hazard. But he's able to, park in much smaller areas. He's less visible, so he's able to do some pretty effective enforcement. But we are looking for those hands.
You brought up Old Nashville Highway. Just saying, Smyrna is now paving Old Nashville Highway in Smyrna. I'm just saying.
That's out of my control.
Thank you, Chief.
You're welcome. Have a good night, everybody.
Fire Department, Chief Beasley.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, Aldermen, I trust that you've had the opportunity to review our monthly report for the month of August. I think the only thing that I would point out, if you'll look there on the responses by apparatus page, you'll see that we have Fast 42 and Fast 43. Those are our interim right now, medical vehicles that we're staffing when manpower is allowable. That's soon to change. We're going to bring our 2 pickup trucks. We've been using one of our older vehicles and then one of our smaller squad vehicles to do that. But the 2 pickups or trucks are in. They should be fully equipped hopefully in the next 2 weeks. What that's going to do for the citizens, number one, probably a safer ride in my opinion. You put a light duty vehicle on the road versus a heavy duty fire truck. Significantly safer in driving. Theoretically, maybe a little quicker response. And number 3 on the list for city budget should reduce some of our wear and tear on our heavy equipment. That's the full intent, and we're putting those in service currently when staffing allows for, but we have an SOG that's under review that will augment that some and help us staff that more frequently. Any questions?
If anybody needs a smoke alarm, the fire department still has that smoke alarm-free installation deal.
That is correct, sir. That is
And,
correct. You can either call the administrative offices, or you can go on to the city fire department webpage and then apply there, and then it will automatically upload to us.
And how's the poll working at Station 41?
No issues right now. It is still the topic of conversation.
Chief, have we utilized box 55 yet?
Yes, sir, we did. 2 weeks ago, had a quick response. Now, we did not call for them on our side as quickly as we possibly could have, but as soon as they were called, they were there within a relative short time with 2, if not 3 vehicles. They had 4 personnel staff that night, and all of them showed up, so looking for something to do.
That's good.
But we've only had that one response.
All right.
Any other questions? Thank you, Chief. Moving on to Parks and Recreation Department. Mr. David McGowan.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, Board, thank you. You guys have the numbers for the parks for this past month. You can see help desk tickets, 101, 739 and a half man hours devoted to those. Past events, August 16th was our annual Howl at the Moon 5K race. 175 runners participated in that. August 29th through the 31st, this past weekend, was our summer carnival. Good attendance there, kind of hot. Upcoming events, September 13th through the 14th is our fall festival. Kicks off on Friday night at 6 p.m. September 13th. It's a cruise in with music by Clay Claxton and the Road West Band. The festival starts Saturday the 14th. Lineup for the parade will be at 8 a.m. The parade actually starts at 10 here at City Hall and ends at the park. 11:15 tentatively opening remarks. National anthem will be done by the Laverne High School Choir. Times are from 10 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. for the festival. Entertainment, 11:30, the Hobo Road Band goes on, and at 1:30, Phoenix Rising. This year, we're going to try to do a little things different. Any parade entrance and floats will be directed towards Waldron School when they get on Floyd Mayfield. Any Bowman elected officials will come into the park. They will have parking in the front field, in the front parking lot there. Everybody else will go to Waldron. We're not going to use the back gate for any exit traffic this year. I think there's some construction going on back there, so it'll be emergency exit only. Grand Marshals will be Janice Steriotis and Lorna Cripps, longtime City of Laverne Library employees. So far, we have 81 vendors, 28 parade registrations. Hard cutoff for parade lineup is, for parade entries, is next Wednesday. I know I've got that on here. September the 11th at the close of business on Wednesday. We kind of have to have a hard cutoff so we can kind of coordinate with the PD for the lineup and staffing. This year, there is no, we're pushing this out there, trying to push it out there, no throwing of candy. So we're trying to get away from the candy. I think the city's insurance provider is kind of frowning on that. So we're kind of doing away with all candy in the parade, if at all possible. Any questions?
Can you kind of comment on I see you, Friday having a car show.
Cruise-in car show. Well, I think we've got about less than 10 participants right now, so it's going to be a first, second, and third place prize. That'll be voted on by the public. So we're taking anybody and everybody. If you don't have a registration on file, it's a cruise-in, so you're more than welcome to come up anyway. But there will be live entertainment there.
And it'll be at the city park.
It'll be at Veterans Park, yes, sir, inside that front, the main front parking lot by the tennis courts. The
That's the
stage
same.
this year is going to be up next to the skate park.
That's the same weekend at Red Boiling Springs, but Red Boiling Springs is usually on big days on Saturday, so maybe people will be able to make both of them.
Reach out to everybody you know. We'll take them. You can bring your truck out there.
So I will,
Take it.
I guess I'll turn over to Bruce and Evan. I know you talked about it, but I don't understand this whole candy business. Can you help me out here?
I can try to, well, I mean, yes, sir, I'll do my best. I think the first issue is obviously our insurance company is telling us on the front end that they've got a risk management problem if we allow that to go on, meaning that there's the potential where our insurance company, if somebody was injured as a consequence of throwing candy and, for example, a child ran in front of a car and got hit, then we may not be covered with insurance. And in terms of why they do that, my understanding is because it does create or could create a situation where a child might not know any better and run out in front of a vehicle and get hit looking for candy. So that's my understanding anyway.
I've always thought this, that the nighttime it couldn't do it, but daytime it was okay.
I don't think it makes a difference. You know, it's still a parade, so that's the concern.
The throwing of candy, but you can't even walk on the side of the road and hand out candy?
The problem with handing it out is it's going to slow down the parade and hold up traffic.
But that is allowed to walk on the edge of the road and hand out candy, or?
Well, I will say this slipped by us. So this year's parade application states, while candy will be allowed, please do not throw it from your vehicle. Walkers may hand it out along the route. We'd prefer you not to. I wish we'd caught this sooner. We would have taken that out of there. We just don't want the liability. Is it worth handing out a handful of candy for a kid to, like Evan said, kids are going to get excited. If they see candy, they're not aware of what's coming next because they're not looking both ways. It may be a possibility if Boma wants to hand out candy, we can provide you guys candy at the city tent for after the parade. That'd be a possibility. We want to discourage handing out candy at all.
David, we, one year, and I don't remember if it was the Christmas parade or if it was for Old Timers Festival, but we actually were in golf carts before the parade, and we were handing out candy, just kind of we're going down the side, not actually in the road, but just on the shoulder and tossing it out there. Now, would that be more amenable as far as from a risk standpoint? Because even if you have, as Evan cited, a kid hopping out in front, while we don't want any kid to get hurt, a golf cart is much better than a vehicle.
I mean, there wouldn't be anything against the law about doing that. Whether our insurance company would be okay with that, I think we would have to ask them, which I'm sure we can do.
I know this has turned into a lengthy conversation over candy, but I just think about it like my 5-year-old grandson. Does he want to watch a parade? Yes, but he's going to get tore up if you've got a piece of candy coming at him, and this makes it more exciting. But I mean, I will abide by the rules and the law. I don't agree with it, but I will abide by it. But I think when you're throwing whatever at these kids, they just, they talk about that more than whatever they seen in parade when they get home. Oh God, I got all this good candy. So
Yeah, they love the candy.
all right.
But it is in your paper. You can't hand it out this year. But y'all got to take that out.
I don't want to say unfortunately it is, but unfortunately it is.
Yeah.
That slipped by us. But it does state that you cannot throw it from your vehicle. Walkers may hand it out during the
A
route.
vehicle would be a golf cart. That's some kind of vehicle.
And, in my mind, a vehicle is anything that's moving, whether it be a golf cart, bicycle, scooter. That's not my decision to make. I guess that would be us getting in touch with the insurance company and see what they would allow.
Mr. Mayor, Andrew looks like he's wanting to say something.
Andrew?
I would just say that, unfortunately, in my role as person in charge of risk for the city, I've sat through too many sessions watching the videos of children getting hit by fire trucks and vehicles in parades. That it's pretty shocking how often it happens.
We're not watching the same video.
You're not. No. And, I know our insurance companies had conversations about that, as often as we can reduce the risk, that helps the overall liability of all of those that participate. And parades are, unfortunately, one of the highest generators of risk liability.
I guess it would be bad if someone did throw a hand out candy and a kid got run over. I guess however way you look at it, it wouldn't be good in those situations, I guess.
Right. I like the idea of what was suggested, though, of handing out candy at the park. It also generates maybe more foot traffic to the vendors and the tents that are set up around the park area as well.
Could you rope it off? You know what I mean? To keep
Like police tape.
towards the side? Yeah.
I think if we went that route, I don't think we are equipped as far as staff-wise goes to man something like that. I don't think we could get enough volunteers or police staff or park staff to man all Murfreesboro Road, because our full staff is working that day as well as PDs, and we're stretched thin as it is with the parade line up here, shuffling people back and forth, getting vendors set up. I just don't see how you would have the manpower citywide to police all of Murfreesboro Road if you shut the whole thing off with.
So I like Alderwoman Hobbs' idea. So obviously it's too late now,
Right.
but can we put that in the back of our heads for next season and give you all a day to put something out? I mean, it's still going to be short-staffed, but at least give you enough time. So.
And obviously, liability is reduced under that guidance, right? Like the accidents that occur are the ones that are actually in the path of moving traffic, as slow as it may be. That, you know, you're still having high-profile vehicles driving with potentially kids running out in front of it. But obviously, if you figured out some kind of a way to cordon that off, I think it would be pretty man-intensive, hours-wise, to do that.
It might be too late to do it this year, but something we might think of next year is right before the parade starts, somebody go down in some golf carts and pitch it out or hand it out before the parade started. Might be a little safer then. Something we might think about.
Alderman Walden, I don't know if there's a good solution. I know when you put on a parade, there's 1,000 moving parts to it, and every time you think you have it figured out, you get thrown a curveball. You're talking about the golf carts. We've done it before. Then we have to free up 4 or 5 of our staff to get the golf carts down here. If they're run on the road and then back, then we have to free up 4 or 5 more to get them back to the park. That's a big day for us, and we are stretched totally thin. We have 22 staff members in our department, and all 22 are working that day, and it probably takes 10 of them down here for the parade lineup itself. Then you've got all of the street department working. Michael and Doug and his guys are out closing down the road. Even with that, they're stretched thin, so if they're closing down all of Murfreesboro Road on one side, and then in the future we're talking about trying to stanchion that off, I don't know how you could do that safely without, you wouldn't have enough manpower to cover 1.5 miles.
Evan, if we roped it off, could we put some kind of disclaimer that was like, we don't assume any risk if you go beyond this rope kind of thing?
You would literally have to have every child's parent that was going to participate or guardian that was going to allow the children to participate sign off on that. And even with that,
The signage isn't good enough.
No, ma'am. Unfortunately.
It's something to work on.
Evans,
Well, we might not be able to do nothing this year, but
This is
Might
not
be
my
something
rule,
we
by the
think
way.
about
So
next
let's get this out in the public. This is not my rule.
This is Andrew's rule.
I'm just the messenger.
No, it's not Andrew's rule either.
so Andrew's watching
Andrew's
these.
rule.
Andrew's watching these videos that he just described.
Andrew's not at home with the 4-year-old crying because there wasn't any candy passed out.
You're right. Somebody has to be blamed. I suppose it's always.
But I watched the videos of the parades, and everybody's throwing candies to the kids, and they're going crazy. They're having fun. In the 6 years that I've been directly involved in this, I can't go back no farther. Have we ever had an incident?
I think we've had some close calls. I think someone got their ankle twisted or something. Maybe 12 years ago.
That I know there was one in the band, but that was due to them marching and somebody moving slower in front of them.
Okay, let me reiterate. Have we ever had an incident where kids were throwing candy?
I don't recall one, but there's a first time for
There's
everything.
always the first time, and I get
Let's
it.
keep it
I
at 0.
Maybe we could keep the parade to the median side of the going up through there instead of in the middle like we usually do, and keep it all the way to the right and chunk the candy yonder way. I don't know. I just personally, I think it's I think it kind of brings out the luster of the parade.
Yeah.
So-
I don't think this was even an issue to a few years back. They had a parade somewhere, and some car went into the crowd, and I think after that, people started coming in with all these different rules and what we shouldn't do and all that.
Yeah,
But
it's just a-
usually
it's just a
some
matter of
kind of
time
rules
before something
reflect
happens
something that's
here.
happened in the
Yeah.
past.
And street department does a great job manning the roads. PD does an amazing job, fire, all of our
Absolutely.
staff. It's just, the parade has grown since what it first started out in 74, 75, so it's continually getting bigger. I don't know how much longer it's gonna be manageable, because it's like, you hurry up and see what's gonna screw up that morning, you know?
The biggest one I've ever been involved in was the Old Timers Parade of '06. That was the most people that showed up for the parade. '06 was probably the most people that was on side of the road.
Yeah, it started at Waldron and came here?
It started at City Hall, went to the school, but it was people on the left side, and there's people in the media. Then there's also people on the far right. That's the biggest turnout that I've witnessed.
Well-
I've been to, at this point, 10 years worth of parades, being in them, and I can tell you, the biggest thing every year are the kids asking for candy. If you don't have candy, they sit there. They're like, candy, aw. That's their big thing with parades. So I can understand both sides of it. It's just working together, at least for the future, to try to find a happy middle ground. And as far as like managing growth of the parade, we'll have to determine a cutoff point at that point, similar to, we've had some discussion on some of the Mexican Independence Day riders and some improvements with that. It's just managing that growth and saying at some point there's a cutoff. And so we've just got to do it that way. But
Well, we kind of have managed the horses that are in the
Yes.
parade. So that has alleviated quite a bit off of us. Yeah, we'll play by ear and see. On a lighter note, we are having axe throwing.
So Evan's got 10 days.
on ice,
Evan's got 10 days to find a loophole.
We'll see what we can come up with.
No, but like I said, I'll abide by the law, by the rules, but as Mayor Cole said, the kids are just, I guarantee you, if you put it out there and said, hey, we're having a parade, but there ain't gonna be no candy,
the kids won't come.
there ain't gonna be nobody out there. They're gonna be up at the park.
Do it.
So,
So, David,
We don't put it out there.
two things. Number one, just kind of shifting gears from Old Timers and Fall Festival, is Howl at the Moon was great. I was glad to win the record for fastest time on the board, so no pressure for next year. And then,
How did you feel the next day?
yeah, that wasn't so good. But and then I want to give major props to one of your employees. The carnival was going on this weekend, and there was a medical situation, and the fire team, the EMS were not nearby, but Bobby was. And he helped a woman who was going through a very big medical situation until the fire department and EMS could show up. So that's very big, because that's not his role. He was actually out picking up trash right then, and he saw what was happening and responded. So very good work
Yep.
there.
I'm very blessed, good staff. They make it very easy on me. They do the right thing when people are looking, and especially when they're not looking. So that's a good look for all of us. Any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you, David.
that was a good 35-minute discussion about candy.
Next up, we have the library department, Miss Donna Bebout. For once, that's something you've got to follow.
I know.
I was
I
wondering,
have
are
a
you,
solution.
are you going to give out candy?
I have a solution. First of all, good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Aldermen, good to see you all. I think the library tent now needs to have piñatas hanging up, and we would have staff
hitting them so that we don't have the sticks going everywhere. And then we can have kids underneath picking the candy up, because kids do love to pick up candy. So that's something that we possibly could do. We can, one of my, and Bruce will know this, and Evan, one of our former parks director, Robin Grubb, used to say, make a game out of it. So who knows, we might do that. But I don't want to talk about candy anymore.
Sorry, I didn't mean to get that started.
No, you're fine, you're fine.
Andrew's over there pondering staff.
With the
hitting
sticks.
Staff with a stick.
Bruce is thinking there's going to be a piece of candy fly and hit a kid.
As you can see, our numbers are down from June and July, which was what was going to happen after our big summer reading, but still pretty good. We did 98 new patron cards, and our computer usage stayed steady, so we were very happy about that. The library board will meet here at City Hall on Monday, September the 9th at 5 p.m., and the library will be closed on Saturday, September 14th, because we want you all to join us at our library tent with piñatas or maybe with not, for the Laverne Fall Festival. And it's fall, y'all, at the library farm. So stop by the library tent to discover so many resources available for free. Want you to snap some cute selfies or take a group photo in front of the library barn. You can play Giant Connect 4, challenge a friend playing cornhole, and do a make and take fall craft and so much more. So we'll see y'all there. Story times and programs. This year has been different. We've had our youth services coordinator retire. We have had another person retire. We've switched some staff around. We've got some new staff in. So our programs have been pushed back until the week of September 23rd. We plan on starting them all back. We are changing some of our programs, so we'll be getting those details out soon. And it's a change for, I don't want to say better, but it's a different change, to kind of change things up. You know, we don't have to always do what we always did. So we're looking forward to it. The staff is on board, and it will be a really good time. So regular story times and programs will be starting back the week of September 23rd. Now, if you will look at your next page, this is a brainchild of, I believe it was Tammy and Mary and Lauren. You'll see Tammy's little dog right there at the very first, and then Miss Mary's dog, Mia. And I don't know if that's Jack's or Snick's, that's the first one. And then you see Franny, and that is Lauren's cat. We're having critters and cards. Show off your furry pals by snapping a pic with your library card. Starting September 3rd, share your pet snap with the front of your library card. Submit in person or drop a comment on our Facebook or send us a message, and our contest will end September the 30th. And the first prize will be $75. I'm sorry, my mouth is dry today. The second prize is $50, and the third prize is $25. And it will be judged by probably some of our firemen and policemen. I believe that's what the creators of this program said. So we will see. We'll reach out to you all and see if you're ready to be judges. But it should be fun. This is something new that we're trying to do this year. It is Library Month, Library Card Month, so I want everyone to participate. Any questions?
So, Miss Donna, if I get a photo of my pug Duncan,
Yes.
my puppy pug Duncan with a library card, and he eats my library card, I can get a new one from the library, correct?
And now you can get one for free. We used to charge you $5, and our library cards cost 32 cents. So the library board last meeting decided that we're not going to charge the $5 anymore because we really weren't making money on it. And it makes people come in after their dog eats their card and come in and get a new card. So yes, Duncan can chew that card up and then you come in and get a new one. Any other questions?
Thank you, Ms. Donna.
You're welcome.
Moving on to the Finance Department, Ms. Danielle Brown. Come on down.
Hello, good evening. I'd like to request to go first on the meeting, following Donna with the puppies.
Well, we do have a 30-minute discussion on the cost of candy.
Right.
She's gonna say you can't afford it.
Is that going to be a line item in the budget
Yes,
now?
we'll put that as a
Candy?
line item, yes.
Okay.
Or the pinata.
Or the pinatas? Don't forget the sticks.
Included in your packet is the financial report for the month of July. The first page, we started a new fiscal year, so it shows the first month. It has the net income for the general, state street aid, stormwater, and water sewer funds as of July, and includes the budget amount and then the annual amount. The right-hand side is going to show you the percentage that's collected and then the percentage that's been spent. You'll see that the local sales tax exceeds the previous year by $20,000. On page 2, that is the book balance of the bank accounts for the city as of July. And so those are all the bank accounts that the city has. And then page 3 provides a comparison of the general fund and the water sewer fund, the net income between 2024 and 2025. At the end, I have included the graph, and so as you know, we have more data throughout the year, you'll see that comparison from the previous year and the current year. Are there any questions?
The increase in the water and sewer bill, is it reflected in this month's chart?
Yes, sir. You'll see that the water, it was, compared to last year, it was $533, and this year it's $728. So that was effective July. And so we'll watch that to see if there's any increase that needs to be made for when the sewer increases.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now moving on to the water treatment plant, Mr. Dwayne Lowry.
I'd just like to say there will be candy at the Infomark tent at the Fall Festival.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Aldermen, Alderwomen. It's been over 200 days since my last readout, so I apologize for anything I do wrong up here. Plus, my glasses are somewhere else, so I'm going to be making this up as I go. I don't think they'll help, because that means I got to walk 10 more feet, and I'd rather just stand
Vice
here.
Mayor's got some too.
So, I assume you all got the report. You all read it? Thanks. The big thing is the 24-inch tie-in. That was completed in August. The meter was put in. We're still a hole in the ground. We have a little bit of a leak going on that they're going to be working on. There's still a vault that has to be put over, and they're currently running conduit to run the wire for the meter into the building so it could be powered up. But we do have water flowing through there. That's the most important thing. And we have noticed a drop in pressure, a minor drop in pressure. We went down about 5 psi, which is what you would expect by going to a larger size main. Being we didn't go completely to the 24, we run 24 and 18 in parallel. The drop isn't significant, but if we would have went straight to the 24, we probably would have saw a significant drop in pressure. But that's normal for what you see when you go to a larger size pipe. So that's really good news. What else we got, Danny? I have no idea.
So you had a few water complaints with the new meter coming in, and I know I was reached out to about some discoloration of water.
Yeah, we had a little bit of we had someone, found my glasses, so now I get to read. So now you can't make fun of me.
He's got some snap on.
Oh, we still have plenty of opportunity for that.
Oh, yeah, you do, but I always pay back. Just because someone gave you cookies today doesn't mean bloody anything. It will reflect on his performance review, and that's now recorded for everyone to hear. There was 4 customer complaints. 2 of them were for bad taste and odor, and 2 for low pressure. One of them, the customer believed it was really an internal plumbing issue, wanted us to take a sample because she wanted to give to the landlord. And we didn't find anything. We went and we sampled, and we didn't see anything on that front. There's a lot of common issues with people thinking that the drinking water smells when it's actually they're trapped from their drain. So you can get some back odors when that aeration occurs in your drain. If you clean your drain out, you can get rid of a lot of these odors. So just something to keep in mind. The second complaint was for chlorine odor. We measured the chlorine, it was 2.06 parts per million, and the rule is actually a complicated rule, but we can go as high as 4. So we're at least half, and that's normal for what we're doing. I think with this one, they noticed it in their ice cubes, and Danny told her that she has a filter on her refrigerator. Your filter on your refrigerator is really just carbon, and carbon will remove chlorine. So if your filter is getting bad and the carbon gets expired, you're going to start noticing some smells to your ice cubes that you're not used to. So if you just get in the habit of changing your filter, this wouldn't occur. So, any other questions?
One trick, you talking about the drain trap, if you cut a lemon up and go it down to your disposal, that will clear that up. And somebody asked me this question, do y'all ever cut the main off at the plant where it pushes the water out, the main valve?
I will have to refer.
Is it ever cut off?
It was Danny's birthday. He worked overnight. His birthday present was to sit at the plant.
The water that goes out of the plant, the main valve,
of it.
is it ever cut off?
Not normally. So we did for this flow meter installation. So last week, Monday night, when we installed the flow meter, it was turned off from about 10 p.m. Monday night, the 26th, to about 9 a.m. Tuesday morning.
Somebody asked me that question. I didn't have a clue.
There may have been, I know the mayor, I know Michael Dietz got some phone calls referencing some color discoloration in the water. That will happen with that surge of the plant coming back on. But typically, we do not shut the plant off. It's running 24/7.
And with that discoloration, they went through the Public Works Department and have flushed lines, which resolved the issues. One resident already resolved it just by running her own water, and it worked its way out. But
it's not an uncommon thing to have happen when you have to shut off like that, because you'll get backflow. So normally when you have flow moving in one direction, then you shut it off, your system is keeping your whole water system pressurized, and water could flow backwards into that, and that'll cause some color disruption.
I appreciate the mayor and Mike handling my phone calls when my phone wasn't working either. So.
Well, I want to thank Danny and Michael and his team, because that was a long night for you guys. Y'all worked through the night. That way it would minimally impact our residents. So thank you.
Did you want to come up here, Mike? No? Just wondering.
Any other questions?
Thank you, guys.
It'll be another 200 days before I'm back up.
Okay. Moving on to old business, second reading ordinance 2024-13, an ordinance to amend Title 20, Chapter 4 of the Learned Municipal Code regarding public records. I'll make a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Alderwoman Haas. Alderman Waldron.
Pass.
Alderman Hobbs.
Aye.
Alderman Haas.
Aye.
Vice Mayor No.
Aye.
Motion passes. Second reading ordinance 2024-14, an ordinance to amend the fiscal year 2023-2024 general fund budget. Need a motion to approve or deny?
Motion to approve.
Have a motion to approve from Vice Mayor No. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Alderwoman Haas. Alderman Waldron. Aye. Alderwoman Hobbs.
Aye.
Alderwoman Haas.
Aye.
Vice Mayor No.
Aye.
I vote aye. Motion passes. Second reading ordinance 2024-15, an ordinance to amend the fiscal year 2024-2025 general fund budget. Need a motion to approve or deny?
Motion to approve.
I have a motion to approve from Alderwoman Haas. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Alderwoman Hobbs. Alderman Waldron. Aye. Alderwoman Hobbs.
Aye.
Alderwoman Haas.
Aye.
Vice Mayor No.
Aye.
I vote aye. Motion passes. Next, we have the consent agenda. Need a motion to approve or deny?
Motion to approve.
Have a motion to approve from Vice Mayor No. I'll second it. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Moving on to new business. Resolution 2024-21, a resolution of the City of Laverne Board of Mayor and Aldermen to declare property owned by the city to be surplus to the city's needs and directing disposal of the same. Need a motion to approve or deny?
Motion to approve.
Have a motion to approve from Alderwoman Haas. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Alderwoman Hobbs. Alderman Waldron. Aye. Alderwoman Haas.
Aye. I knew what you meant.
Okay. Alderwoman Hobbs then.
Aye.
Alderwoman Haas.
Aye.
Vice Mayor No.
Aye.
I vote aye. Motion passes. Resolution 2024-22, a resolution authorizing the City of Laverne to participate in the Public Entity Partners Property Conservation Matching Grant Program. Make a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Vice Mayor No. Alderman Waldron. Aye. Alderwoman Hobbs.
Aye.
Alderwoman Haas.
Aye.
Vice Mayor No.
Aye.
Motion passes. Resolution 2024-23, a resolution authorizing the City of Laverne to participate in the Public Entity Partners Judy Housley Safety Partners Matching Grant Program. I'll make a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Alderwoman Hobbs. Alderman Waldron. Aye. Alderwoman Hobbs.
Aye.
Alderwoman Haas.
Aye.
Vice Mayor No.
Aye.
I vote aye. Motion passes. Resolution 2024-24, a resolution authorizing the City of Laverne to participate in the HGAC Cooperative Purchasing Program. Need a motion to approve or deny?
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve from Alderwoman Haas. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Vice Mayor No. Alderman Waldron. Aye. Alderman Hobbs.
Aye.
Alderman Haas.
Aye.
Vice Mayor No.
Aye.
Resolution passes. Resolution 2024-25, a resolution to donate a surplus fire prevention trailer to the City of Eagleville. I'll make a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Alderwoman Haas. Alderman Waldron. Aye. Alderwoman Hobbs.
Aye.
Alderwoman Haas.
Aye.
Vice Mayor No.
Aye.
And I vote aye. That motion passes. And then last but not least, we've got boards and committee members. We have the Industrial Development Board, one term vacant. We have one applicant, Ross Howard, and for that position. So I'll make a motion to appoint Ross Howard to the open position. Is there a second? Second from Vice Mayor No. Alderman Waldron.
Pass.
Alderman Hobbs.
No.
Alderwoman Haas.
Aye.
Vice Mayor No.
Aye.
And I vote aye. Motion passes. Moving on to Mayor and Alderman comments. Alderman Waldron.
Thank you. As Donna mentioned in her presentation, this is Library Card Month. And check on the elderly. Make sure your pets have fresh water and shade. And it's cooling off. It's a great time to winterize your home before it gets cold. Make sure you check your batteries and your smoke detectors and smoke alarms. And thank you.
Alderwoman Hobbs.
I just want to thank Chief Beasley for the recognition this evening. I think on behalf of the whole board, we really appreciate the way that you're able to communicate the needs of our fire department to better serve our community. So we thank you for your leadership in that. And that's all I have for this evening.
Thank you. Alderman House.
Look forward to seeing everyone at the cruise-in and the concert and then the Fall Festival on September 14th.
Vice Mayor No.
So what if we throw candy? What are you going to do?
Andrew, it's Andrew's rule. You got to ask him.
You going to
That's
fire
where I
me?
get involved.
Huh?
That's where I get involved.
I got nothing.
No cheeseburgers for you.
They don't serve candy at where he'll send you.
Well, I've got a couple things. Number one, great time this weekend with the Laverne Carnival. It was a lot of fun. There was a lot of fried foods. And so it was definitely fun. I did miss you taking your turn on the Ring of Fire, though. I thought that would be fun to...
I got video.
Okay, I'll be looking for that. Do want to thank the Boy Scouts. They came out to our Planning Commission meeting last week, and it was part of their badge for civic engagement, so that was a fun little exercise for them. We've got the Fall Festival coming up soon, and so make sure you've got your booth. You're going to show up at the parade. Should be a whole lot of fun like it is every year. I do want to congratulate Leah Presley, part of the HR team. So she won, she was awarded the Public Entity Partners 2024 Excellence in Risk Management Award. Nothing to do with candy, but still. So that's a very good accolade for her and a testament to what your department's doing. So good job there. And pass that along from the board to her. And then one thing I want this board to consider looking at, hopefully next month, and hopefully whenever I say this, Bruce doesn't throw anything because it's a lot of work for him.
I don't have any candy.
So I didn't say candy. You got pins over there. So I want the city of Laverne to explore a traffic calming program similar to what Nashville does, and look at different areas. We can open it up. We can have residents, voice where they think it would be appropriate, and then that comes back and gets evaluated, and we go from there. We've seen in Nashville where they've put in, and in some areas they've turned around and taken them out. So I think that would be something that we revisit for public roads. Private roads, they can already do that. Traffic, well, not traffic, but speeding has to a degree gotten out of control, and it's something that it's a societal issue. So if we can find other means beyond just the police department, because there's only so many of them, I think we should look into exploring that. So with that, call this meeting adjourned.